Okay, so a little bit of a mess over here. I've been working on some stuff. The sauerkraut's done. I want to go ahead and stuff some sausages that I made the other day to be able to uh, can those with the sauerkraut so I can make some ready meals. I'm also going to go ahead and make some Montebello, and we're going to go ahead and make a pork roast for dinner. Hey, welcome back. It's been a busy weekend. So what I'm doing here is we're going to do a couple things. First things first, the sauerkraut is complete. It is nice and white and sour. You want to take the lid off, take the lid out. I've already done that. You have your cabbage that I told you to keep, to put on top. You can throw that out or eat it. Won't kill you. And you have this nice white sauerkraut. Smells wonderful. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually working on getting some sausage stuffed so we can go ahead and can some of this up. Now, you can just put this in the refrigerator. It's actually, if you do heat process this, like canning it with sausage and stuff like I'm going to do for this year, then you are going to kill the good probiotics that are on the sauerkraut. This is really good for gut health. I'm going to save some back for raw eating, but for the most part this year, because it's just that easy to make, I'm going to go ahead and probably make another batch and just can this with sausages. That way because whenever you have 30 minutes for lunch, all you want to do is open up a jar and take a fork to it, because you don't have time to make anything. And sandwiches get old. So let's go ahead and stuff sausages. Now, Grandpa is at work. And so I've been left to my own devices whenever it comes to this. So this is a learning experience. You're going to be learning with me. First things first, let's go ahead and get dinner out. I've been marinating this piece of pork for about a couple of days. And I've been marinating it in that soy sauce miso concoction that I showed you in that jar. Let me go get it. Now this does look like a big old lump of brown stuff. It's actually the thigh of a pig, typically known as the ham. But us Americans actually know ham as the already salt-cured meat. This is not it, even though typically this is what it is made out of. So let me go ahead and get a thing. We're going to go ahead and put this in the oven while we go ahead and do this. There's the bone. Take off the marinade. There we go. This is going to last us all week, maybe. See how nice and brown the meat is now? And that was only 2 spoonfuls, large tablespoonfuls of that miso, so it spread a lot. Alright, so this is going to be a different type of sausage we're going to be doing. But This is some of the ginger sage that I made about a week ago, and it's been sitting in the fridge. We need to do something with it. So I was finally able to find some hog casings. This has been out in my area for weeks. So we're going to go ahead and get this together, get everything situated, and start stuffing the sausages for the crab. Hey, I got one. Now you're supposed to soak this in, rinse and soak in warm water. I think only one is going to do it. I'll bring out two just in case. We're going to sit there and let that soak for a minute. While we go ahead and make the Mortadella. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing this wrong. It's Mortadella. Mortadella is a mild, smooth sausage known for its prestigious girth and the large chunks of white pork fat that stud its interior. It originated in Bologna, Italy. So this is the original bologna. That's why I want to try it. Because if I can make this, we can eliminate deli meat from our systems. Okay, so it says 1 pound of boneless lean pork shoulder butt. I've got 4 pounds. I've already measured it. And weighed it. And I'm probably going to need a bigger bowl. Hold on. I've also ground up some pork fat. So in between the fat and the ground pork, this will be 5 pounds. I'm probably going to have to do all this by hand. All right, 2 tablespoons per pound of dry white wine. 10 tablespoons. I don't have dry white wine, I have sweet white wine. I hope it doesn't mess up with the taste on this. see, 10 tablespoons. No cap. 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic. So the rest of this, so that would be 2.5 teaspoons. Not all of it. I know, I love garlic. One and a half tablespoon of kosher salt. All right. 1.5 tablespoons times 5, that's 5. 6, 7.5. Half teaspoon of pink salt. Salt. Now, I do have Himalayan salt. That may be what they're talking about. I don't know. If that's the case, then it's 2.5 teaspoons. Now, I've already done the back fat, and once it diced, I ground it up for it to be easier. Let's see. Pepper, 1.5 teaspoons. About 7.5 teaspoons-ish. One teaspoon ground mace. I've never worked with mace before, so this could be interesting. Kind of halfway in between cloves and something else familiar. It's interesting, but it has a clovish smell to it. right. Now I get the rest of the spices out. Bay leaf. Nutmeg. In here somewhere. Hello. This is the reason why my grandma needs a bigger kitchen. Or some sort of more organization. This is nuts. Ha. Coriander seeds. I have those over here. I did have those over there. What did I do with them? Well, Grandma needs to grow more cilantro so she can have coriander seeds. Because I can't find it. So, guess what? No coriander seeds. So we're going to go ahead and that's a 1.5 teaspoon grated nutmeg per pound. So that's 2.5. And ground bay leaf. We'll take our bay leaves and grind them up. So 1/4 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, that was a little bit. That should be plenty. So you combine. It says stuff into a beef middle or use plastic wrap from a to form a cylinder 4 to 5 inches in diameter and twist and tie the ends to seal. Then we need to poach the sausage in 170-degree water until internal temperature reaches 150. And that's it. So besides not having coriander, which I thought I had somewhere here, because I grow my own, we've got everything done. Now, I do have a beef middle. They're called beef bungs, B-U-N-G. Beef bung. They're not cheap. And only 2 came into this. So we're going to go ahead and try this and to stuff things with. And let's go ahead and work on this. Actually smells really good. You can really smell that mace. All right, now that we have this mixed up, we'll go ahead and work on stuffing these. Let's see what these look like. Because I'm going to be probably storing all of my stuff in here. Like the unused hog. We've still got sheep casings from whenever Grandpa did his sausages. And we're probably going to reutilize, recycle, reuse, reutilize. All right. Said that this is 2. I see 1. Maybe? No? Maybe they're stuck sideways? I do believe I only got 1. But 1 is all we need, right? Let's go ahead and keep that nice and warm. Clean up a little bit. And then continue. Okay, for these, obviously we're going to use the big hole. We used the smaller hole before, but since these are, hopefully bratwurst sized. Ow, there was a sticker on the carpet. I may have made too much of the Mortadella. Or I need to relearn how to the bologna. We'll call it bologna, because I'm not. No. Found the opening. That's a large opening. Wow. This should be easy, folks. Should. All I did was fill it up with water. Look at that. All I did was fill it up with water. That's going to be the size of the sausage, honey. Yeah. No. Maybe we made just enough. This either could be end in disaster. I'm still going to show it to you. So grab your popcorn. This is going to get interesting. Lots of mess to clean up. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, some time has passed because, cleaning up and battery died on the camera. So what I went ahead is I went ahead and did all the sausage. These are the sage and ginger sausage. I didn't have enough for a whole another one. We're going to use this for like breakfast sausage with like eggs and stuff. But I've got 3 links here. Not enough to can. So we're going to go ahead and use these for like another dinner. Which means I need to go get some sausages from the store to be able to can with the sauerkraut, so I can show you how to do that. But I want to show you this real quick. Insert any comments. This is the beef bone. This is the bologna. This is what I have to boil until it reaches an internal temperature of 150. This is 5 pounds worth of bologna. That just looks rude. Trying to keep this channel PG as possible is not going to work with food. So let's go ahead and boil that. Get the biggest pot that I've got that I can use. Now, here's my meat temperature thermometer. We're going to keep that because we have to measure that out. But let me go ahead and get dinner. Now, doesn't that look good? Let me bring this over here so you can see this. This is going to have to rest for a little bit. Very nice and juicy. I'll let this rest. Over there. Maybe. Put this in the sink. All right. I feel like this thing should have a name. What do you think? I hope this thing shrinks a little bit. This is a lot. Let's get the excess off here. We're supposed to boil this. It may be funny shaping. We'll see. could get interesting real quick. Okay, now that we have this, all nice and boiled, I had to actually get my canning pot to be able to fit all this because that wasn't working. So, it's still hot. So this is what it looks like. Cue even more jokes. And it's definitely, it's a temperature in the middle. I poked it in several areas. And we're going to go ahead and let that cool completely. I'm probably going to leave this in the refrigerator overnight. Let it completely cool down. And then we'll go ahead and slice into it and see what it looks like. See what it tastes like too. Because if it tastes, I don't care what it looks like, so long as it tastes good. And then right now I'm going to go ahead and pick up Grandpa Rebel from work. Grab some extra sausages, and then we're going to go ahead and get going on the canning of the sauerkraut. So, after I got Grandpa Rebel from work yesterday, we ate and fell asleep. So it's the next morning, and I had this in the refrigerator cooling off. So we're going to go ahead and cut this up and taste test it. I want to see what it looks like inside. Yes, the big one. Right here. Oh, wow. It's a little dense. You can see a little bit of the fat in here. It's definitely cooked through. Slice is nice. Let's go ahead and taste.
I don't taste anything special. Maybe a little bit of the sage or
That's a mace.
That's mace?
That's mace.
It's mild enough to go with almost anything.
That's the idea. Bologna is supposed to be kind of like a
Sandwich meat?
sandwich meat. So this would be deli meat.
Okay.
Can you see that with cheese?
Oh yeah.
I think we have a winner. I like this. Didn't really need the coriander seeds. I think the coriander seeds would have given it more of a lemony taste. I really didn't need it. I could have substituted maybe some lemon zest or something with it. But it's good as is. So, more? Yeah, more. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to slice this up and put it away for things like sandwiches and stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and get the kraut canned. Now, I went and bought these because we don't have enough. Yes. So we're using a roasted garlic smoked sausage. I tried to find one that didn't have all the nitrates and garbage and stuff in it. This one, the only thing that is not that good in it is organic cane sugar for us, but everything else is spices. So we can deal with the sugar a little bit better than we can with the nitrates and monosodium glutamate and everything else that they like to put in here. So give us a little bit. I'll go ahead and get this set up and we'll be right back. Okay, now that Grandpa's gone to work, let's go ahead and get these sausages in the kraut can for later use. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do, because these ends are sealed, I'm going to cut each one of these off, number one, to serve two purposes. So I can get it in the jar, because these are a little bit longer than normal. But also it will help for them to not explode inside the jar. Because I know that you're supposed to poke holes in them, but sometimes those holes, depending on the type of casing that they use, they don't poke holes in them. So we're going to go ahead and just cut the ends off so they don't burst. And in one of the jars, I am going to go ahead and put the ends in so nothing goes to waste. Now, I'm going to put in 2 sausages each in each jar, and then cram the kraut in there. There we go. Wasn't too bad. Really easy. Okay, here comes the interesting part and the messy part. We're going to take this kraut and jam it in the jar. You know what? Hold on. Clean hands. So much better. There we go. Small little known fact about my country, or about my heritage, is that I'm about, 80-90% German. Not my grandmother, but my mother's grandmother, I do believe. Correct me on that. She grew her cabbage and made kraut. So this is actually a family tradition that I'm hoping I am able to pass on with the generations. If you've ever noticed, every, and I mean every culture in the world has a way of storing cabbage. And that is all cabbage. Regular cabbage that we use, we make into kraut. Or something called chow chow. Or, the slaw is a, raw type of cabbage, but we don't preserve it. Asia has a way of storing cabbage with kimchi and other ways. I do believe the Chinese, with their greens, dry it or they boil it, then dry it, and then salt it, and dry and boil it again, and then salt it, and then dry it again, and that's how they store their greens. And I want to say greens, so like not necessarily lettuce, but things like kale, collards, things of that nature. Lots of mess. Just going to empty out this jar. Come on. Work with me. I'll clean this jar, and whatever's left, if there is any, I'll go ahead and just put it in a bowl or something. One thing about a wide mouth is you get your hand in it. And looks like we have the rest of it going in at the ends. So there's no leftovers. Which is fine, because I can always make more. Now you want to leave that 1-inch headspace as much as you can. And then wipe these off. Put the lids on them. And process for meat times. Smell my vinegar. Now I will show you how to make vinegar, but I'm going to use what I have. Sometimes I'm giving a lot of apples. I don't eat apples. Never really liked apples. Kind of like watermelon. I can eat like a slice a year and I'll be happy. But I will make vinegar. And I like apple cider vinegar a lot more than I do white vinegar. I understand white vinegar is more for cleaning and it's more of a process than anything else. I think they use potatoes. Don't quote me on that one. But what I'm going to use this year, and I used last year, is my plums. My tree, in its second fruiting, that it gave me at least 5 gallons worth of plums. I still have preserved plums and more in the freezer. So this year, now that the tree is starting to bud and things are getting warmer despite what it looks like outside, we'll be able to make plenty of plum vinegar. But one thing about vinegar is that it takes 2 months. There we go. We have a full canner. I have this heating up. And we'll go ahead and get this processed. See you in about, I want to say with cooling, give it 2 hours. We'll be right back. And there we go. We now have 7 pints sausage and krauts.